Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at TransArt, Metal Jungle, Motor Spider, Inventor, BWM-11 aka Tarantulas, and this is age 16 and above. And I made a big mistake with this. I've usually been quite hot since I've got into TransArt Beast Wars figures. I've always been quite comfortable. I order it via show stores, and I've never had any problems with getting them, etc. However, with this one, I didn't realize it, and Jimmy, you can laugh at me. Jimmy got his and said, "Hey, look what arrived." I'm like, wait a minute, I pre-ordered it. I didn't see any email to say your payment is due, etc. Somehow, no idea, mine got cancelled. No idea how. Anyway, doesn't matter. The moment I had money, I ordered this because I really wanted it. And with show stores, I actually got about 20 quid off it because I used some points that I've been building up because these are reasonably priced. And some of them that I've brought recently have been well over 100. You know, I got a decent amount off. As always, the box looks absolutely stunning, but let's have a look at this figure that I'm very excited to look at. Okay, I've always been quite happy and satisfied with what TransArt had delivered. Even with TransMetal to Black Arachnia, which was probably the weakest of the bunch. However, you know, the last couple of releases, Cheetor, TransMetal 2, and this is knocking it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know anybody who is delivering Beast Wars MP scale like TransArt are right now, because this is the creme de la creme. I love how this looks, etc. Now let me just bring him in a little bit closer. I mean, just everything just looks vibrant, you know. Just look at that head sculpt. It looks absolutely sensational. The colors, I feel, are pitch perfect, etc. And I always feel like they do better with bigger sort of figures, etc. I think that's where they sort of excel. I mean, you know, the detail on the arms, etc. I mean, you know, I may have a different opinion when I transform him, but right now, just looking at him in robot mode, this is everything that I've wanted, you know, everything that I had as a child, as from a toy perspective. You know, this is really spot on, etc. Now just come with the usual, the little card that they've got. Metal Jungle is there. Motor Spider Inventor, you know, which is cool. I was thinking to myself, I actually probably should put these in card collectors. Now it does have this bit, and just says pay attention to the direction and strength of the force application here to avoid breakage. So there is clearly some concern around this piece, so do be careful. And I think I have to be extra careful when I'm doing my articulation in a minute, etc. So he also comes with beautiful gun, which, look at that, that looks great. And that will probably should act as the wheel when we transform him. So articulation, let's get this out of the way because now I'm a little bit nervous. So the head can move probably all the way around. See some nice details there, and that'll probably form into part of that transformation. A little bit of movement up and down, etc. Actually quite a little bit of up, which is quite nice. Now you've got this bit here which will always hinder this arm, but there is movement there. And if I carefully move these out the way, carefully, you can lift it up, but once again you've got this bit here, but there is a nice joint there. There is a double on the arm. There is a swivel on the wrist. Now I'm just going to gently put him down carefully, and you can move the fingers as well. Sorry, I'm not showing that very well, but there are hinges on each of the fingers. Now just coming around to the side here, you can clearly see that there is a bend on the legs, and a little bit on this piece here, but do not put too much pressure on there. I would worry about that. And there is obviously a bend there, which will conform as part of that transformation. So, but like I said, do be careful. He can lift his legs up like that. He can do the bend there on the knee and forward a little bit. There is a swivel there on that thing there, and then this is the bit that, just to be a little bit careful, just carefully, there is movement there, and you probably want to gently move that in like so, etc. So, but it is there. So some nice articulation for this figure. And this is, I think, die cast down on the feet. You know, you can hear that going on there. So just do be careful, so to speak. And he looks very, very nice. And then also he comes with his little creatures, which I'm actually quite glad. I could have easily overlooked this and not thought about these. But, you know, these were everywhere, doing lots of different significant duties for Tarantulus around his little bases, his little secret bases, etc. So these bits do pop out, so you can pop them out as well and just have them like that as well. And I think there's no harm in that. I think that works just as well as having the little things on there doing little occupies, because there were some that were just crawling around like that, if I remember rightly. So yeah, I think these are great, and you know, they were great to as a fort back when they did this. So, you know, really, really nice. No real articulation on there. So if you do put these things in there, do not put pressure on there. Not that I damaged anything, but I could have easily knocked it out. In fact, that's what I think I did. I just knocked them to one side so they can move to side by side, etc. So, but do be careful when you're putting this on, that you do not put pressure on these little legs, because they will snap, and they almost feel like one of kind of, I feel like they could easily just do a little pack of these, and I feel like I would just buy them. In, you know, my opinion, I think I would grab a pack. It's actually been a while since I've had the web out, but it felt appropriate to bring this out, and in particular the mask that Tarantulus communicated with Black Arachnia when he first transformed in his transmutate and trying to get back into some form of power, etc. I can't remember exactly how that worked out, etc. But it worked out for the better, etc. I feel like it would have been cool if they gave us some little Vok heads. That would have been very cool. But anyhow, I'm happy with what we've got in terms of him. But so I thought I brought this in, and it's been, like I said, it's been a while since I brought out the web that I actually forgot how to bloody put it together. I actually, annoyingly, there's a little bit here, like a little bit that you connect it to, and I actually snapped it, which is quite annoying. But I suspect I can get a new one, because they're a new sort of web part. I don't think it's that difficult. It's just like a little connector, etc. So, but I'm not overly worried about it, because actually this works like this. But I thought I'd put them together so that, because these two had such an interesting relationship over those 3 seasons. Let's bring in some other Preds. Okay, so here he is with Ravage, who he worked for from the Tripredacus Council. I hope I said that correctly. And obviously the Megatron that we've had from TransArt. I've put Transmutate in here. Transmutate sort of fits in between both Predacons and Maximals in that one episode, confused with themselves, etc., and who they're meant to be. And but I feel like he fits in that shelf, because I've got lots of Maximals, more than I've got Predacons. And then obviously we've got Dakara's Black Arachnia, which fits in Season 1, Season 2, and part of Season 3 before she turns into TransMetal 2. So there we go, and these look fantastic together, and I hope we do get some more Season 2 Prez. We've got Quick Strike at some point. It would be good to see a big one like Rampage. Now that would be phenomenal. I really hope that does come to pass at some point to complete our Series 2 team. But these look fantastic together, and I love having them on my shelf together. You know, it makes everything worth it, so to speak. So I'm going to go transform Tarantula so we can have a look at his AUT mode, and I will be back. All right, here he is transformed into that first AUT mode where he is just a spider, so he can use his legs to get around. I just thought I'd drop these in there just so you can see them next to there, because I feel once again these just fit in perfectly in terms of these being together, etc. One and all, because he would be, you know, using them to do the silence and stuff. One thing, it's probably my dodgy transformation, there's this peg in there that keeps dropping out, but just look at how gorgeous that looks all the way around. The wheel sits in there very, very nicely. The legs hold up really, really well. It is a decent size in terms of lengthwise, and you know, you just look at the bottom, it all fits in there very, very nicely and very well done. Now, it's probably going to be tricky for me to see, but let me just lower that. You can see that the mouth, yeah, I'm struggling to do this. Let me just shift that down a little bit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's probably the hardest bit, is if you do want to utilize his mouth in this mode. It is not an easy easy bit to do. That's the pig that I was talking about. I keep popping out as well. So sorry, this review's gone on a little bit of a tangent. But yeah, these fit very, very nicely. You could probably, oh, damn it, I just done it again. Just carefully just lower that a little bit. You know, does look very, very cool. Very cool indeed. So I'm going to go add on the transmutate bits, the wheels bits, so we can have a look at how that looks as well. Okay, so here he is transformed into that mode. You can sort of push him on this. This is probably the weakest point. It is a small wheel at the front, and you just slide it between the legs, and sometimes it does pop out. And then this wheel doesn't really move at all. You know, it's very restricted, which is a little bit disappointing. Not the end of the world, because I tend to have my my beasts in robot mode, but you know, I've sort of tried to make this a little bit cooler. You know, pushed out the engines a little bit at the back in particular, and then it's whatever you choose to do with the legs. I've just popped the legs up, but you could probably turn them as well, etc. And it does look very, very cool, etc. Although it will never have that stability that you would expect from him. Now, just bringing in TransMetal 2 Black Arachnia, just so you can see them next to each other in the sort of size. He is still the bigger spider compared to Black Arachnia in this mode, etc. So, just as I wrap up this video, I just wanted to show Tarantulas with the Predacons transformed. Now, I've only chosen Black Arachnia and Megatron because technically Ravage transformed into a cassette in the show, whereas the TransArt version transforms more into a cat, and Transmutate couldn't transform anyway. So it's just the three of them. I also wanted to say thank you to Mag Motion. It's the place that I always go. Great creator, because they do the transformation of this figure really, really well for these figures. So I always go there, and mainly because I like how they do their videos. It's very, very cool. And I'm sure most of you know that anyway, hence why you watch this stuff. So there is Tarantulas, and I've got to say, other than the vehicle mode, which was always going to be difficult to achieve in terms of it being quite stable, the rest of it is absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful figure. I love the transformation. There was only a couple of bits which bugged me, etc. But probably just me being me. I think great accessories go alongside him. It's great to have him in the team, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the next one already. So anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please support me by subscribing. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Thank you to those already subscribed to my channel. Without you folks, I don't have a channel. Well, I probably do, but I have nobody watching me. And make sure you look after yourself. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.